All right, this is episode 1 of 5, breaking down my psychological bootcamp series, whatever you want to call it. Today's episode is on the law of detachment, your mood, and your self-perception. I have a lot of knowledge that I'll be dropping in the next couple of days. I don't know if it's going to be in a row or not, but I will be making a 5-part YouTube series. This is episode 1, like I said. Let's go straight into it. I got a lot to tell you. I'm not a professional. I can't say I know everything and I got all my shit figured out, but I've failed a lot, and I've had to go through a lot of self-reflection to come to these conclusions, and I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I can help you, whoever's sitting behind the screen, if you are also struggling with this, kind of give you a little bit more guidance to understand, look, we're in the same boat. If you're trying to become a day trader or if you're trying to do anything that's freelance, you're going to want to listen to this. Let's start with the law of detachment. I want to start off by saying when you least expect something to happen, good will happen to you. When you detach yourself by everything that you're doing and you're so obsessive over everything, you just take a step back and just understand like, hey, this is going to be okay, it will come to you. If you're constantly so anxious about what you're chasing after, that shit will never come to you. It never will come to you. When you shut out your fear and your doubt and choose to believe so deeply you have already accomplished something or will accomplish something, you will no longer have to think about it or stress about it anymore. I say this all the time to people that I talk to, especially when it comes to talking about Christ. Put your faith over fear, right? Too often than not, we cave into our flesh and we give into our fear. We let it consume us. We always ask ourselves these what if questions. What if I blow this another account? What if I lose all this money? What if I get rejected by that girl? What if blah, 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 blah. When you give into your fear, you give it power. And when you give something power, you can allow it to control you. You don't want that to control you. So put your faith not only in your trading, but faith in yourself that you will accomplish the shit that you want to accomplish and you will become the man or woman that you always wanted to be. Have faith that God put you on this path and be grateful that you're on this path regardless of if it's good or bad. Just put your faith before your fear. That's so important. Jesus says if you believe you already have it, you will receive it. He says that in the Gospels several times. When you have faith that you will accomplish something, it will come to you. Oftentimes, his disciples would question Jesus and ask about their future and not know what comes next and what comes next for Jesus. And Jesus says, have you no fear? Oftentimes, his apostles were fearful that he was making references to his crucifixion, and they were scared because their rabbi, their teacher, will be dead. And they didn't know what was next for them. They didn't know what was next for their families. They didn't know what was next for Jesus, and they got scared not knowing what was next. And Jesus would tell them, have your faith over your fear. Have faith over your fear. Don't question everything. And honestly, just have your faith. It's really important, especially if you're a day trader, because if you tell yourself, I make 100K, I'm going to make this 10K, I'm going to pass this account. When you put it into the atmosphere, when you are manifesting these things, they will come to you. And when you start thinking about it, if you act like that all the time, you're no longer anxious about it. You're just so heavily convinced that it will happen. And that's the most healing thing you could do. God will never grant you the things you want or desire to become if you're always anxious about it, like I said, because you are contradicting how he tells you to get it in the first place. He tells you to get it by thinking you already have it because you're putting the faith and trust in him that he will do it for you. I'm not saying God is a genie and you shouldn't treat him as one, like, God, I want to have $1 million. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying just have the conviction in yourself and your conviction in God that it will get done. You will become the person you are meant to be. You will accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish. You will have the things that you want to have. You will have the family, the love, the joy in your life. If you think you will already have it or already have it. You know what I'm saying? Flip the narrative and stop letting your fear overtake you. All right, fear, that's a good leeway straight into our mood. Mood is a huge one, especially if you're a trader. Your emotions play probably 99% of your success. So let's dive into that next. If your mood is heavily impacted by your P&L, then you will forever and always be stuck at step 1. And this is true. If you, like I said, we talked about it, you give things power, right? And if you are riding these highs and lows all the time, if you're letting winning streaks make you feel like you're a god, if you're letting losing streaks question your existence, if you're making break evens make you no longer confident in your strategy, then trading might not be for you, number one. And number two, if you do believe that trading is meant for you, you need to rid yourself of riding these highs and these lows. Like I said, have your faith over your fear, and just know at the end of the day, regardless if it's a win or loss, you're learning. And I'll talk about that as well later on. Learning from losses is a huge thing as well, especially when it comes with mood. Highs and lows are all part of the process, whether it be a win, a loss, a break even, a winning streak, a losing streak. It's all a part of the process, and it's completely normal, and it's okay. It is okay. Don't cave into your flesh and let fear outweigh your faith. We talked about this. Eliminate your limiting beliefs, especially when you're trading. And I also need to work on that, because if you see on my title on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram and on my TikTok for DC Traded, it all says the same shit, road to 10K. This shouldn't be a road to 10K. This should just be a journey in general. Like I said, I already got a payout. You know what I mean? Like, I am on the process of reaching that goal. And then what? I'm going to reach that goal and then that be it? So I need to understand that this is a journey, and you have to eliminate your limiting beliefs and think big picture and think, what's the next step? You know what I mean? Find comfort and happiness in your discipline in all aspects of life, especially over your selective monetary wins. A lot of the time, like, we get a good win on our eval, we get a good win on our XFA, we get a payout, and we let that selective monetary win control our mood for the rest of the day. Or it could be the opposite. You lose a lot of money, you blow an account, and then you're miserable for the rest of the fucking day. Don't look at it like that. Find happiness in your discipline, whether that be you're getting up early in the morning every single day, you're making your bed every single day, you're going to the gym every single day, you're having a positive mindset every single day, you're praying every day. You are doing good things that benefit you as a human being, and they benefit you. Don't let selective things ruin your entire mood. When you do that, you're completely ignoring everything else that's good in your life. Trading exposes a lot. Trading exposes a lot. It exposes your ego, it exposes your discipline, it exposes your fear, and these are all good things though, right? You got to look at trading, always flip the narrative, always think of it in a good way. Although it does expose a lot, it exposes what you're scared from happening, it exposes where you're wrong, it exposes a lot of the shit that you're just, quite frankly, suck at. It's good though, because it highlights where you need to improve as a human being. I'll be honest with you, for me, my biggest issue was my fear, right? My biggest problem was, like, I was so scared to lose money, and my trading was reflecting that. I was missing out on entries. I was either over at leveraging or under leveraging in situations where I should and shouldn't. I was running a lot from the truth, and with trading, it highlights the truth very, very, very often. It says it in trading. I forget the name of the book. I don't know, some trading book that I read, and he pretty much said that what you run away from will end up happening to you. So when you avoid the things that you don't want to happen to you, they end up happening. And more often than not, that is the truth. When you try to avoid losses, when you try to avoid bad feelings, especially when you're in a mood, it will happen, right? Like, it's gonna happen, and it's all a part of the game. So just embrace it. I'm gonna talk about embracing it a little bit later as well. Like I said, flip the narrative and encourage your losses, because if someone told you that you were 5 failures away from reaching success, you would want to fail all 5 times as fast as possible. So why aren't you treating your life like that now? You should be looking at these losses as growing and learning opportunities, and be grateful that you're experiencing them faster. Every single time you lose, that should be good. You're like, oh my God, I just got another loss. This is good. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to move forward. If you constantly are running from losses and you don't want them to happen, how the heck do you expect to grow? How do you ever expect to relate to anyone in the trading space if you've never gone through anything? Too often than not, I see people say, oh, I want to be friends with that millionaire. I want to be friends with TJR. I want to be friends with, Patty and Blake and all these popular traders, but you've never experienced any loss of yourself. Why the heck would they want to talk to someone like you? You've never experienced anything. What do you bring to the table? What is your story? What does your journey look like? You don't have one because you're scared to even take the chance. So yes, encourage these losses. Let's move on here. You are in control of your life and how you perceive things. You assign things power, like I said, and you also assign things meaning to you. By changing the way you look at things, the more control you will have in your life and the perception of yourself. Free will does exist. It does exist. Too often than not, people don't rise to who they could be. Instead, they live down to who they think they are. They live down to who they believe they truly are, which is so wrong. You are in control of the perception of yourself. I'm going to say that again. You are in control of the perception of yourself. Rid yourself of your limiting beliefs and use everything as motivation. If you believe you are that guy, you are that guy, right? I'll give you a perfect analogy. If you live in a trailer park and you're struggling to pay bills and you don't want to live this life, and you think having the mindset of, this is my life, this is all I ever will become, I'm just going to work a 9-to-5 job, I'll be working minimum wage for the rest of my life because this is the environment I grew up in. No, you're living down to who you believe you are. You're living down. Expand your horizons and limit those limiting beliefs. Eliminate them. No longer think of them. Rise up to who you think you can become. There are so many people that I know, friends and family, who could have gone so much further than they are now. I'm not saying they're not successful. They truly are successful. They have families now. They have kids. They have a decent house. But they limited themselves because that's what they thought they were only able to accomplish. They didn't expand their horizons or think big picture. That's the issue that I have as well. I just talked about my journey to 10K. That's such a limiting caption, right? Like I'm already a fraction of the way complete that journey. And then what? I'm going to complete that journey and then that's it? No, I have to expand my horizons and eliminate these minuscule, I don't want to say minuscule goals, but just these beliefs that I can't be something bigger. And honestly, the reason why I think that is because of fear. Again, like I said, that's my biggest issue is fear. I'm such a fearful person. I have OCD, I overthink about everything, and I constantly think about failure all the time. I'm a huge overthinker. I live by a pattern, I live by a regimen. On another episode, I'll be talking about neurodivergences and how you can actually use them as tools to benefit yourself rather than let them hurt you. And that's my issue, is I let fear take over me sometimes, and I have to just eliminate that and understand that I am, in fact, control of the perception of myself, and I have the power and autonomy to change that. It's only me, right? I have the power to change that. And by putting my faith in God and putting my faith in Christ, I know that I can make that change. Do you get what I'm saying? They're so intertwined with each other, and the faster you recognize that, the faster you understand you can really become who you want to be. You are all powerful. I'm not saying you're God, but God is within all of us. It says in John that, I said it in my previous video, it says in John that Jesus is within you and thou within him. It says that in John. And that is the truth. If you let Christ into your life and you believe that his presence is within you, you are within him. And you are all powerful because you have free will. God purposely limited his powers by letting humans have free will because it's a gift. If he really wanted to, he could have made us all slaves and just bow down to him and only think of him and think about nothing else. No, he didn't want that because he cares about us and he loves us. So he gave you this free will to make these changes in your life for the better. So use it. God loves you, so let him. I say that all the time. He loves you, so let him. So put your faith in him, knowing that everything's going to work out. And by doing that, you are reprogramming your self-perception. Your self-perception is such a huge, huge part of trading. It's crucial. It is crucial. If you think you're shit, you're gonna be shit. If you think I can do this, I know I'm capable of the skill, you are going to reflect that, right? So make these changes. Change is good. I hate changes. This is coming from, like I said, I have OCD. I hate changes. I hate even the littlest thing. You can come in my room and you can move a book like this, just a little bit, push it to the side or flip the camera a little bit, and I will notice. I'll pick up on it because I hate changes. But I've learned to love change because change equals growth, right? There's always room for growth. You're not perfect. You never will be. You're a human being. You're gonna fail. So let it happen and encourage it. Encourage those losses. So this is episode 1. I don't want to keep them super, super long and bore you, but yeah, today was on detachment, your mood, and self-perception. And then tomorrow's going to be a big day as well. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm not going to leak any information about that, but it's also another good video coming out soon. So peace, y'all.